What's up, my fitness family? Today, I'm gonna show you supersetting your shoulders for massive gains. What's a superset? So a superset is when you put together two exercises back and forth and you just kind of no rest and just literally pounding it out. So a lot of times what people will do agonist, antagonist muscle groups, so opposites. But right now we're just gonna be crushing shoulders and getting some massive results on them, all right? So my name is Brent, Kasmer, this is BKPT. If you haven't subscribed yet, definitely do so. And then mash that notification bell so that we are notified as the new stuff comes out. So I'm always pumping out good information, especially when you guys are requesting good information. So I love helping everybody. So I'm gonna start off, this is a superset. We're gonna be doing a barbell military press, and we're supersetting with lateral raises. So typically you would be doing about 3 sets of these back and forth, you know, and not counting your warm-up set. So it's coming down right to your chin and then driving straight back up. So if you haven't seen my other shoulder videos, whenever you're doing a shoulder press, you don't want to overextend that shoulder press. It engages your traps too much. Keep all that pressure right there on your deltoid, okay? So we're staying in the seats here. Nice and tall. And these are just going to go straight out to your side, only shoulder height. So coming up, shoulder height, trying to stay nice and still, keeping those arms as straight as possible. Another thing about this exercise is you want to make sure you keep those almost like your pinkies level, or if not a little bit higher than your index finger. So coming up, almost like you're tilting it forward. It really engages those medial deltoids, you know, just right down there in the side. So this is just back and forth, right back into your shoulder press, catching fire. And these are like 6 to 10 repetitions. Right back to your lateral raises. Like I said, it's gonna be like 3 to 4 sets, 6 to 10 reps, back and forth, all right? Our next exercise is gonna be an upright row. I said this in my last video. I love upright rows on the cable just for the resistance being so steady the whole way through it. So we're gonna go the same thing, about 8 reps. But like I said, a good rep range is 6 to 10. But this is not meant to be fast and jerky. You always wanna know what you're working and feeling it in your shoulder. So I'm supersetting this with some post delts, or rear delt flies. But I'm gonna use this bench to keep that angle, and also so you don't swing into it. You're just squeezing those posterior deltoids straight out, straight back, elbows slightly bent, good squeeze. And coming down slow with them. All right, right back to your upright rows. Nice and tall, close grip, pulling straight up with your elbows. Trying to unengage the traps from overfiring. Right back to your post delts. Or rear delt flies. Same thing. Same thing, keeping those hands neutral and just going straight out with them. Really getting a good engaging on those post delts. All right. Woo, I'm already wore out. What the heck? The next one we're gonna go into is an Arnold Press. tell you a couple things that people do incorrectly with these. So Arnold Press is a rotational shoulder press. So a big thing with this is, bringing them up, you want your palms facing you, but on the way up, you're rotating. So good control, rotate on the way up and on the way down. Nice and fluid. What most people do incorrectly is they'll rotate out and up and down and in. That's just the shoulder press. Woo! Humdinger. So we're gonna do Arnold presses with face pulls. This is one of my favorites. So face pull, you hook a tricep rope up to the cable machine. You can do this with rubber bands, resistance bands, but you're coming back and you want this probably one much lower. So right about your sternum level, and you're gonna come up, it's like a W on the TRX straps. So pulling it up towards your face, forehead. All right, right back to Arnold presses. So this is that rotational shoulder press. Remember, rotate on the way up, on the way down, on the way up. The best thing about those Arnold presses is it's actually one exercise that literally hits all three heads of the shoulder all at the same time. So these face pulls, I have most of my clients do these honestly every day, just because of occupational hazards. Everybody's sitting and typing and doing so much desk work. It's good to open your shoulders up, working your post delts. All right, woo, dying over here. So that's 3 supersets so far. I mean, these are great combinations of exercises. I got 2 more supersets for you. So we're gonna do cable front raises. This is a great one. So cable front raise, you're gonna stand with a curl bar or between your feet. I was doing upright rows with that a second ago, so this might not go so well. It's gonna go through your legs. So taking a wide stance, bringing this up, right to squatting down, core is engaged, just coming straight forward with it. Same thing, same reason why I love the cables for the upright rows is the resistance is equal the whole time. So it's not like pitching and catching with dumbbells, barbells, and plates. That resistance is on there the whole time. So cable front raises. This is another favorite of mine also. These are all favorite. I love lifting, so. I feel like I'm always saying that. So this is gonna be a lateral raise, but this is done a little differently. I want you to, when you're grabbing this for the lateral raise this time, you're taking it behind your butt. So you wanna make sure that the cable's equal with behind your butt. Same thing like I told you before, keeping that pinky almost upright. So don't tilt your hand back, because then you're just engaging your anterior deltoid, the front of your shoulder, which everybody's front of their shoulder is typically already overdeveloped. So it's gonna naturally pull that way. So until you really learn it and feel it, you gotta concentrate on keeping that pinky a little higher than your index finger. But you can really see it working that medial deltoid. I'm gonna do both arms. And it's good when you do a single arm or single leg movement, because you can see the differences between both arms. Man, it's good stuff. Good thing I didn't do shoulders today. You see the control when you're fatiguing, which isn't bad, but you just try to keep those shoulders back and keep that engaged. You just drop it right to the next exercise. So here we go, right back to it. Try to keep yourself from tilting and throwing your hip into it and leaning. So another great thing about when you do one arm at a time, you gotta do 4, switch, and then you can do 4 more. That way you get your 8 in. Whew, man, toast. All right. Well, let's save the best for last, so hopefully you stayed watching. The last one's gonna be a meadow row and a crossbody rear delt fly on the cable machine. We'll set it. Gotta lighten this stuff up, man. I'm dying over here. All right, so a meadow row. I use this a lot of times in my back workouts, but it's also really great for hitting that posterior deltoid. So meadow row, it's like a landmine. So you got the bar in, I have in a chamber here, but you can use like the corner of a wall, like where 2 edges meet. I throw it in a tire sometimes, but you're lining the end of the bar up with the middle of your chest, and your outside foot's lined up with the bar, and then your foot is at a 45 or a 90-degree angle from where the plates are. So you're gonna grab the end of the bar, lined up with the middle of the chest, and when you pull it, it's gonna come towards your shoulder. So same thing, you're not jerking this here. So this is a heavier exercise. 6. So I'm supersetting this with the rear delt fly. So the important thing with this is you want to keep your chest angled up at the top of those cables. And we're coming straight out and squeezing all the way across the top of your back. So head is up, spine is aligned. Woo! So can you guys tell me why I love using these cables? It's because the pull is consistent the whole way through. So when you're pulling it out and it's going back together, you've got that same resistance pulling. So like when you're using dumbbells, when you hit that height and you pop them up there, there's like a point where there's no resistance on it. And then the force, if you're not controlling it, you know, is a lot heavier with a chance of injury at the bottom because you're catching it, especially if you're not, you know, a regular worker outer. So meadow row, pulling it straight to the other shoulder. And one last one here. Woo, my goodness. I know you guys are gonna love this, putting this all together and trying this yourselves. hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, this is shoulder supersets for massive gains. So this is supersetting your shoulders to get those massive gains. And it's put together for a specific reason. So definitely take this, use this, and just watch your results. So take pictures when you start doing this, and take pictures 4 to 6 weeks after you start implementing this. People are gonna notice those bolder shoulders. All right, Brent Kasmer, PT. Subscribe, mash that notification bell, and keep getting fed the information that you guys are seeking. All right, see you in the next episode.